You're live. There you go. I am live. Look at that. Live with camera and everything. Ooh, exciting. Let me see if I can close that. Oh, there's one person here. I wonder who that is. Say hello. Let me see if I can go here and copy, that, and go to Twitter. Ooh, this is exciting. Yep, that's right. I know you guys are here and you're watching, and that's good. I'm just learning here how to use these things. Let me tweet that out. I've been here for a minute already. I might have to edit that out if I know how to do it. I don't know. Let's see. Who's here? Let me pop into Insta. And, oh, fan base. Oh. Go here. Hit that plus sign and go live. Go live. Okay, let's try it again. Hey, I'm learning with these things. Let's go live. We'll use that one. Oh, use that. Go here. Settings. There you go. It booted me out again. This is just something else. Click on done and say go live. Add title, YouTube live. And click on done and click on go live. And checking connection. I need to turn that around. There it is. There's one person here. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, and for Fanbase Live, I haven't gone Fanbase Live in a while, okay? In a while. So there's two of you here now on YouTube. We'll see who is going to be here on Fanbase, because this is just impromptu. It is just impromptu, you know. I would like to be, oh, Summer Rose, hello. It's good to see you. I'm testing out the madness. Oh, Synovia and Miss T Versation are here on YouTube. Yeah, there's somebody else also. I just don't know who it is. And to be here in Fanbase world, I can't flip over to my YouTube. I mean, my Facebook. Because I don't know how to do these things. Okay, let me just do this and put that on Do Not Disturb. There you go. Resume that. I understand, Synovia. That's perfectly fine. You'll hear something that strikes your fancy whenever you get to your destination, and you'll be able to pop in and say something. Yes? If you choose to. Let's see, there's 5 people here now. Be sure and like the stream. And we're going to get started. You know, this is just impromptu. This is why I needed to go over to um, Facebook. God, you would think that I don't know these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a note here. There. And I'll end that on, 6 people. Is that Shea Butter? Is that who that is? Let me pop over to Messenger and say, there, just messaging people. And I do have some people, but one of them speaks fluent Italian, no Anglese. So I don't have, what's its name? So, oh, Shea Butter, baby. I'm so pleased to see you. This was brought to my attention because we all do it. I know I spoke to you guys this morning, right? I spoke to you this morning and I said, practice. Did I not? Right. I'm sure I said practice. Let me remind us why it is a little bit challenging to practice, but yet also remind us about how easy it is to practice. Now, I know my memory, and I learned the code for the door for where I'm staying at right now. And so I every time I only saw the code being entered once. She said, "Well, here's the code." She put in the code, and I knew what the code was. So when I came home, I knew how to get in the door consciously, because you know repetition, right? When you repeat something over and over again, you can learn it. But there's a faster way. I put the code in the door once. Well, she put it in the door. I just watched and I memorized the code. And now, when I get out of the car and I come up to the door, the code is in my head. And I recall the code and I use it. That took no practice. Why not? Because the desire to change, we can do these things faster than what we are currently doing. Let me explain what someone said to me. Perhaps they're here, I don't know. But they said to me today, you know, I'm reading a new book. Uh, I'm learning something new, you know, trying to get my mind right. And remember, I told you there's nothing wrong with your mind. There isn't a thing wrong with your mind. Not a thing. The issue is, what have you conditioned your body to do? So again, the same way I can learn the code for the door in 3 seconds, we have that capability. Why? Because we are conscious and we're going through something, right? And we don't want it to take all day. I didn't have time to try and figure out, now, oh, can I remember the code? I didn't have time for that. I needed to know the code. And so because I needed to know the code, it overrode anything else. I didn't doubt that I could remember the code. So it's not a matter of how many books can you read. It's not a matter of how many coaching things you can do. It is a matter of, are you going to practice even though it seems challenging? This is the thing, right? People are saying to me, yeah, Angela, but I was on Fanbase earlier today and I was in a space and they were talking about Roe versus Wade. And I admit I got a little bit frustrated because, again, here we are trying to fix the reflection without changing the image that's casting the reflection. There's a reason why these things are being done, and I keep sharing them. I keep telling you, right? Day in and day out, we are faced with circumstances outside of ourselves, aka Roe versus Wade, right? So now what happens? Well, the only person that really truly affects is women, right? So it happens to us. So women get all up in arms. I cannot believe that is on. Let me do that and see if you guys can still hear me. If you can still hear me, give me a thumbs up or something in the chat so I know. The reason why these things are happening, the reason why all these civilizations fell in the past, is because the mind works the same way. It works the same way it did back in Grecian times, Sumerian times, Phoenician times, and it's working the same way now. The difference is, do you know how it works? Do you know how it is programmed? It is programmed, A, by repetition or by using a strong emotion. So if there's fear or there's anger, those two things are powerful emotions. And because they're powerful emotions, something gets embedded in you right away. So that the next time you encounter the situation, you are primed. You know what you're going to do. You know how you're going to react. You are not the only person who knows how you are going to react. This is why when you use the laws, you see, the law of rhythm tells you, everything has a season. Law of polarity tells you there's two things on opposite sides, but they're the same in nature. They're only separated by a rate of vibration between the two things. So if someone can come along and stoke your fire, rile you up, they know exactly how you're going to respond. And so what is happening is we are relinquishing our sovereignty at an enormously rapid rate. Yet we sit here and we say, well, oh, that's part of what's happening, and we can't apply the law to that. Yes, you can apply the law to every single situation. Every single situation the law can be applied to. But what I'm saying to you is, not everybody in power knows the law. But what they do, the ones that are in power, they follow direction. So that the one who's actually pulling the strings, right? They're telling them what to do. And because you can see their face, look, if you can see their face and you can call their name, they're scapegoats. They're not the ones making the decisions, right? There is that Bible story when the children of Israel said, we want to be just like every other country. We want a king. We want a leader. Why did they ask for a leader? They asked for a leader because they doubted their capabilities in leading themselves. Well, Angela, if we don't have laws, things will be in chaos. We have laws. They're called the laws of creation. And if we follow them, there is only order. But you see, man-made laws are meant to, and the funny thing is you can't usurp natural law. Natural law supersedes everything else. So when you begin to understand or comprehend, when you comprehend that you are predictable by way of habits, if you keep responding the same way every time, you are predictable, thus you are easily controlled. How do you fix it? You fix it by consciously deciding and behaving in a particular way. I shared this analogy this morning and I'm going to share it here again. Then Beyonce, because we all love Queen B. I don't know who's we all, but then she's learning choreography, right? And she falters because she does a misstep. She's not cussing and sitting in the corner and crying and whining about it. She's going to the choreographer and saying, okay, okay, show me again. And she goes through it slowly, step by step, step by step. So she starts to dance again. Cue up the music. She starts to dance again. Oh, snap. Look at that. She made another mistake. She did not go to the corner and go, I'm so stupid, I can't get this. This is too hard. Let me read another book. She did not do that. She went to the choreographer and she goes, okay, let's do it again. I don't know how many times she falters. I have no idea. But let me tell you something. When you see her on stage, it is perfected, is it not? Why is it perfected? Because every time she made a mistake, she saw the mistake. She felt the mistake. She recognized the mistake and said, ooh, that's not right. This is the way. So she gets the choreographer. The choreographer represents the law. She gets the choreographer. Show me again. So she goes back to the law and she learns how to do it. And she does it over and over again. But you see, we'll agree that it makes sense with dancing. We'll agree that it makes sense with teaching a child how to walk. But then we begin to clutch our pearls and say, oh, but Angela, we can't use that when we're trying to change our lives. Let me explain something. All habits are created the same way. All habits are destroyed in the same way. How? By performing a consistent act repeatedly until it is remembered by the body. So, if you are constantly worried, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to buy the food? If that's what you're doing, stop yourself, because you're a dancer now. I'm your private dancer, right? You're a dancer. You're dancing through life. And you made a mistake. You made a misstep, right? You made a misstep by thinking, I don't have enough. However, if you go back to the choreographer, the law, and you say, ooh, show me, is there not abundance? Ah, there is abundance. Show me abundance. And you start to list through all the places where abundance, you got an abundance. Some we like, some we don't. Mosquitoes, flies, flowers, pollen. Oh, anybody who suffers with allergies will tell you there's too many. There's too much pollen about. You see, there's an abundance. Abundance exists to the point of wastefulness. How many blossoms does one need? Look at how many of them fall to the ground before the bees can get to them, right? Yet, goes hungry because abundance exists. So when we make the misstep in the choreography and we go back to the choreographer and say, hey, show me the abundance. You're going to tell me that within a couple hours, within a couple days, within a couple weeks, you are not going to get that step to the point where it becomes second nature? Listen, nature is simple. This is why making and breaking a habit are the same formula. Because think about it, if you wanted to break this habit or you wanted to break that habit and you had to learn a new process every time, dear God, the chaos. But the law is immutable, which means if you commit them to memory, let's do it. People say to me, Angela, you got to start charging for your services. Right? Give me one moment. Let me just reply. My tech support person wanted to know if I made it to the live. Listen, nature is Simple. Look, let me say some hellos because I see the chat moving up in here. Empress Ella, welcome. Cynthia, hi. Oh, Miss Ray of Sunshine. I see you. Synovia, I know you listening, honey. Welcome everybody. And if you're in here, you have not acknowledged your existence, say hello. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, nature made things simple so that we can use them and be successful. Oh, Reese, hello. You see what I'm saying to you? Imagine the law creates order. When you go against the law, there is disorder, there is chaos. But we think that we lack the capability to govern ourselves. This is what we think. And thus we became like the children of Israel who said, "But great Jehovah, send me a king because I can't lead myself." And then when they got the king, what happened? He took them for all they were worth and he abused them. Why? Because absolute power corrupts. Why does it corrupt? Because when you do not use the laws of nature, you forget yourself. Because if you use the laws of nature, you would know that if you envisioned harm for someone else, you will get that harm. Why? Because as within, so without. So you would think really long and hard before you wanted to wish harm upon somebody else if you knew you were going to get it back. So you see, the laws of nature keep everything ordered. You understand? They keep everything ordered for a reason. You see it? But we think, because this is what it said to me. Oh, I have such a, somebody said, I just have such a negative mindset. When you make the misstep and you think the negative thought, the choreographer says, hey, hey, hey. That's the law, right? Because you've committed it to memory. The law says to you, it's okay. What do you want instead? And you put the right move in. You change the thought. Yeah, but Angela, you don't understand. Don't I? You think I woke up one morning and I knew how to use the law with perfection? No. I get up every day and I have to put in the mental work because that's truly the only work required, the mental work. But Angela, now you crazy. What you mean the only work is mental? The only work is mental. Then you put in the mental work, the physical steps show themselves, and it becomes easy for you to complete the task. Because nature is designed with simplicity in mind and your success. So if we practice the art of visualization, meaning we do it every day, we're going to practice it. What if I said the word McDonald's? You already know, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. You see? How did you commit that to memory? Because you saw them near commercials all the time. And you drive by and you can't miss the big golden arches. So it's embedded in you, correct? Yes. So now, if I say abundance, what does that look like? Well, I don't know what abundance looks like. Ray of Sunshine said there's too much pollen. So yes, you know what abundance looks like. Don't be so quick to answer, I don't know. But take a moment to reflect, right? Your way, right away at Burger King now, right? You see what I'm saying to you? We know how to visualize. I'm getting a little warm because y'all got me fired up. So when I say to you, or when you say to me, well, I've got these negative thoughts all the time, it's only because you've practiced it. So if you don't want the negative thought, the law of vibration tells you mentally change the thought and you'll boost your vibration. And the vibration, the movement of that vibration will take you along the law of polarity and take you from despair to relief. Right? But the effort that you have to do is to think something else that makes you feel better. Well, I don't know what to think about to make myself feel better, Angela. That's too hard. It's just easier for me to sit here and wallow. We may not say it like that, but our actions, right? I am telling you here today, Roe versus Wade is a way to control you. And if you give in to it, whoever has your mind has you, right? Oh, and we say, well, we got to vote. Because I was in that room and they were talking about we got to start having Black doctors. And I understand that logic. But doctors are all trained the exact same way via the Rockefeller system. So it's not that we need more doctors of color. It's that we need a change of mind. A change of mind. You want the violence to stop? Well, then stop looking at violence. But it's in my face. I understand that it is in your face. This is why that mental work is, quote unquote, so challenging. Because when it's in your face, when you're living in the car, how do you get your mind out of that place? You get your mind out of that place by practice. Yes, you're there and you're living in the car. So we're coming back to the abundance, right? You're there and you're living in the car. You're in a place where you want to be in your own space, right? But everything around you tells you, well, that's not possible because you're crazy. This is all going on. You can't change nothing. That's what your eyes tell you. Who has control over those eyes? Who has control over your ears? You do. And so if you would take the time, sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's 1 minute, sometimes it's 2 minutes. But if you take the time and recall the law and say, okay, look, I'm scared right now. Right? Now, if you can envision, you have fear, courage. If you can envision what courage looks like, it looks like Shaka Zulu, right? It looks like Shaka Zulu with the spear and the shield and rah, right? It looks like Wakanda forever, courage. If you can see those images in your mind, it will start to make you feel a little bit better, right? The situation on the outside hasn't changed, but the situation with you inside you has changed. And because the situation inside you has changed, if you would maintain that frequency, it will cause the outside to change. That is the work. That is the work. But you see, we beat ourselves up. Oh, I can't. It's just too hard. You know what? I give up. I'm just going to read another book and see what this other person has to say. Let me listen to Esther Hicks and see what she has to say. And she gets you all worked up and riled up. And then once you stop listening to it, you go right back to where you were. Motivation comes from the outside and only lasts for but a moment. But you see the law? When the law creates inspiration, you change your internal environment to influence the outside. So this is why I say it doesn't matter how many books you read. If you do not catch yourself when you make the misstep and say, this is what I'm doing. You go to the grocery store. Oh, that's too expensive. You drive down the street, you see the price of gas, and you say, I should be walking somewhere. I need a man on a horse now. I need a knight in shining armor. And the way these gas prices are, I can't. Right? So what are you doing? Reinforcing the lack of. That's what you're doing. But if you catch yourself and you say, you know what? There is an abundance everywhere. Start to list off all the things that are abundant. And by the time you've done that, you see what you call it? You call it convicting yourself. If you can't hold the image of abundance in your mind, then you can talk yourself into it over and over and over again, aka affirmations. But you've got to use them consciously, you understand? So don't complain about don't complain about how high the gas prices are. Remind yourself that there is abundance. List off abundance and where it is. Why? Because you just stumbled on the dance floor. The time to make the mistake, right, is in the dance studio. The time to make the mistake is when you hit that off note and your voice instructor goes, yikes! That's the time to make the mistake, to practice, work out the bugs. So that when you get out into the world, you know exactly what you're doing, meaning you've committed it to memory. Sonia, darling. Let me take a sip. So, are there questions? Meaning, do you have a situation, right, where you want clarification in your specific instance? Is there one of those? You think about that while I respond to tech support. There. I just responded. We should be good there. But yes, Cynthia, motivation does come from the outside. This is why right now, what I'm doing is motivational, right? But because you know the law, you can inspire yourself. I read something. It says, the all is still, yet self-moving. Oh, hallelujah. Like when you hear that, it just does something to you. It is self-moving. We must be self-moving. You tell her I say thank you, Cynthia. I love it too. I think you call it a quaff. I don't know what you call it. Sonia, what a beautiful question. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Right? Now that the song is in your head and you ask, what is love? That is the question I'm asking you. What does that ideal love look like to you? Huh? What does it look like to you? Because I'm going to say this phrase. It is not the things on the outside that bring the joy, you know. Meaning the house, the money, the car, the man, the woman. Oh, it's not those things that bring the joy. Do you know what brings joy? The fact that you can create them brings joy. Whatever you want, you can create it. That is where your joy is, because that joy is in the power that you recognize, right? So you have the knowledge of your power. And then you have the courage to dare to use the power. But then finally, the faith. Well, if you say, let there be light, you don't expect to get darkness, do you? That's faith. You know that what you're doing is going to always be successful. So now let's build this relationship, Sonia. We helped Synovia build her house last time. Now we're going to help you build your relationship. Now, I don't really necessarily know how to be gender correct, so I'm going to be Mother Nature correct. Sonia, I am presuming that you prefer the opposite sex, the male. I'm presuming. I'm going to just run with that. If that is not the case, then you fit whatever it is in there that is right and appropriate for you. Okay, okay? All right. So, Sonia, darling, you want love that is swoon worthy. Yes? Can you see it? When I say to you romance, when I say to you love, who do you think of? What do you think of? Do you think of the great poets? Did you think of the great bards who sang of love? Do you think of the Song of Solomon in the Bible? What comes to mind? Because remember, you're going to build this. We don't know what the significant other is going to look like. We don't know. We just know, like you say, we just know it's a man, but we don't know what he's going to look like. Is he tall? Is he medium? We don't know. That is somewhat irrelevant. Somewhat. But we'll get to the relevant part of it. So when you're building this relationship, my dear Sonia, darling, what do you want this man to do? How do you want to respond to this man? When you look at him across a crowded room, do you want to blush? Do you want him to saunter over to you and say, well, hello, didn't you catch my eye? You see that feeling that's what you want. That's what you're looking for, right? You also want that man that says, babes, all the bills are paid, I'm going to go mow the lawn. And you come outside with your rake in your bag, and he's sweating, and his muscles, if he has them, he's wearing a hat, and his legs look nice, and you're like, ooh, it's hot out here, and it's not the sun. You get what I'm saying? So you want to be physically attracted to this person. You understand? So you're building this person. Now you want to be able to sit on the couch and have a conversation, and him say to you, hun, I see what you're dealing with here. How does the law work in this? How do we apply the law in this situation? You want a man who listens, someone who will help you to stay inspired, always along the pathway of the law, because he also follows the law. Let's not be unequally yoked. Yes? So when you're building this relationship, you see all those feelings that I perhaps invoked inside of you? I don't know. You tell me. That is what you want. Oh, honey, look. You don't carry bags. I carry those. I open the door for you. Build the relationship. So when you sit there and you have a scene in your mind and you're sitting across that table and you're sipping on your Chardonnay or your rosé or your water, whatever you're sipping on, and you're looking at them and they're looking at you, and you're at a loss for words because all you can say is, well, hot damn, you one fine mother, aren't you? Right? You understand. So all of those things, but that man of integrity, my dear Sonia, is a man who says, what does integrity look like, right? What does integrity look like? You don't just say a man of integrity. A man of integrity has the characteristic of being where he says he will be, at what time he's going to be there. A man who is sensitive, a man who genuinely cares about your well-being as well as his own well-being, the well-being of his family, etc. Those are things that are integral. So when you see them in your mind, because you're building it up, you are building it. So build it the way you want it, because what happens there? You have to become so wrapped up in it. RAPT. Let me put it in the chat. RAPT. You have to be so wrapped up in the creation of your relationship. That's my son. You can hear him sighing. He thinks his mother is so boring.
Not true.
Shh. Anyway, you've got to be so wrapped up in what you are creating that it holds your attention so that you don't stop and say, oh my God, all my friends are dating people and I'm so lonely. How come nobody wants to be with me? You don't have time for that because you are so wrapped up in the creation of your relationship that it is almost as if he steps out of the mist on one foggy morning. He steps out of the mist and you're like, my dear, where did you come from? Wasn't I just dreaming of you? And then it appears to be so simple. It appears to be so out of this world. It appears to be so magical. But you are so wrapped up in it that you are not distracted by the fact that he's not there yet. Because for all intents and purposes, in your mind, he sure is. Does that make sense, Mrs. Sonia? All of those things you build into him. And you know why? Here's the beauty. Here's the beauty of building it into him. You have to pull it out of you first in order to build it in him. So if you are a woman of integrity, as within, so without, is what the law says. Do you see it? Do you see what I'm saying to you now? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
What's wrong with you?
I
Let me see, because I want to catch the comments, right? Blah, 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 blah. Any questions, my beautiful friends? Any comments? Yes, that compliment. But that's the thing, Mrs. Sonia, when you're building him, when you say you compliment each other, that means, look, if you have good taste in putting your wardrobe together, he has good taste in putting his wardrobe together. Because as within, so without. Yeah. See? These things. That's what I'm talking about. When you don't see your vision coming to pass, how do you handle it? Oh, now this is a beautiful question, Miss Cynthia. Let me answer. If you don't see your vision coming to pass, it is because you stopped looking at it. Let me elaborate. The thing that has your attention wholly and fully is what you recreate. But if the vision, if you say, oh, it's taking too long, why is it not here yet? You've closed your eyes. You're no longer looking at it. And if you're no longer looking at it, if it no longer has your attention, well, then it means you do not want it. I don't make the law. I simply follow. Your attention is what tells the law what you want. And when you've told the law what you want by way of your attention, it is recreated. But you see what we are like. I'm about to get a little crass, but we're going to do it. If you got children in the space, it's all right. It's not that bad. You see what happens? We're like a 1 minute wonder. You ladies know what I'm talking about. We hold the attention for 1 minute. And then we say, well, that should be long enough. How can you get satisfaction if you only hold your attention for 1 minute? If you don't see it, keep focused. The minute you take your focus and your attention, let me give you the analogy that I gave this morning. A magnifying glass held up to the sun. If you hold it steady, you're going to get that heat and that beam and you're going to start a fire. But if you do this and you wave it around, that's why the vision isn't appearing, because the focus is gone. So you go back to the drawing board. What is it that you desire? and you recreate the vision again. And this is where visualization comes from. Being able to hold the vision in your mind's eye without it wavering, without being distracted. So when I told you McDonald's and you said ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you see, it's in you. So you've got to get your vision in you by keeping it in your mind's eye without distraction. Does that make sense, Miss Cynthia? And like I said, I know it can be challenging because we want to stop and say, like kids in the back seat, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Every time you ask, are we there yet? Every time you ask it, you close your eyes and you take your eyes off the vision. Sorry, there was lint on there. You take your eyes off the vision, and then you have to start all over again. And the more you have to start over, the longer it takes. I'm preaching to the choir, so I get it. I understand. I understand. The distractions are only your thoughts, Miss Cynthia. The distractions are only your thoughts, and they come from the body. We want to call it the ego. I don't care what you want to call it, but you must comprehend how it works. So, for instance, if you say, I want good health. If you say you want good health, but every time you get up and you go, oh, my hip. Oh, Lord, this fibroid. Oh, Lord, my back. If you get up and you do that every time, what are you doing? You are reaffirming the illness. But now, don't get me wrong, some illnesses are very hard to ignore because some of them are hard to ignore, believe me when I tell you. But what are you going to do? You get an image. If you can't conjure up an image of health, get an image of health that you can see. This is where vision boards came from. Huh? But if you don't know why the vision board exists, you won't know how to apply it. Because we want to apply the vision board unconsciously, but you cannot. You must be conscious. Let me stop snatching the air. Come. But the reason why I'm about to tell you, the body, it remembers everything you've always done. Everything. It remembers. So when hunger strikes and you say, ooh, I feel like something sweet, right? I feel like some cake. Okay, you do that. The next time you get hungry, your body says, ooh, we had cake last time. You want cake again? And you're like, well, I'm on a diet now, so I'm going to have a salad instead. That's what you say. And your body says, is that so? But you know how good the cake was. Wasn't the cake real good? And then you say, yeah, but this diabetes. Oh, but it's hypertension. And your body says, but that cake was real good. At no time in that conversation with your body did you say, no, we're going to have this. Remember the dancer who makes the misstep. The choreographer says, here's the step. So when your body says, well, let's have some cake, you tell your body, yeah, no, we're going to have this smoothie instead and enjoy the smoothie. Do not drink the smoothie and go, ugh. Because then you are reaffirming the cake. The desire to change must be stronger than the desire to stay the same. So you can't lie to your body because your body, let me tell you, your body is a beautiful thing. So when the desire says, yeah, but we've always had cake, you say, we're going to have this smoothie. And you take a sip of the smoothie. This is why you make a smoothie that you will actually enjoy. So that you're not lying. So that you're saying to your body, because you're presenting the right dance step to your body. You understand? So when you create a smoothie that you like instead, and you say, ooh, this one is tasty. Now your body says, huh, okay. And it submits. And the next time you are presented with your hunger, your body says, well, we had cake last time. And you say, but we're going to have this smoothie. And your body says, yes, it was good. And you'll have the smoothie. The next time you're presented with hunger, your body says, well, we had cake, but I liked that smoothie. But if you do not consciously, right, remember the dancer. You're making that dance move and you've got two left feet and you're falling over them. The choreographer comes and says, okay, watch me. Here's the step. And you try it. And you say, okay, I think I got it. And she's like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And you do it over and over. And then she goes, cue the music. The music comes in and you got the dance move. You're like, yeah. It is the practice. It is the consistency with your practice. So don't just go and say, well, I'm going to have me a green smoothie when you don't like green smoothies. Come now. Because your body will keep referring you to cake. And who will win in this situation? Because cake is the habit. Cake will win. So as a dancer, when you make the misstep, go back and put the new step in that is the correct one. And every time you make the misstep, put in the step that is correct. But we think that nature wants to punish us by making things hard. It's not that nature is hard, right? It's not that nature is hard. It is that we have been designed for success. And when the habit is set, and you are on autopilot, hey, look at how easy things are. This is why whatever it is that you program in, it doesn't care whether it is good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to be successful at it. That's why you make the change. This is why you catch yourself and you say, what am I doing? When you complain, oh, believe me, I know a thing or two about complaining. Yikes. I sure do. You see, these children will throw you under the bus in no time, but I digress.
No. Definitely not.
I know a thing or two about complaining, okay? I get it. I know a thing or two about cussing when I'm mad too. But do you want to reaffirm the bad behavior that you want to change? Or do you want to get that dance step right? And the only way to get the dance step right is to do it over and over and over again. Consciously. Do not just be playing affirmations in the background. Know what you're doing. This is why we're in the mess in the first place, because we're running on autopilot. You see, we think autopilot is easy. It is. It is the most simple thing you could do when you do it right. When you do it consciously. Yes? Let me read. So look, you see, you're encouraging ray of sunshine. Look at that, Cynthia. Miss T versation. Listen, in today's climate, everybody is looking for that abundance, right? Because what happens is, as I've told you before, if we would but comprehend the laws, the body follows the law, right? If we comprehend the laws and how the body works, then we'll begin to understand. If there's a Bible story, let me tell it to you. It's real quick and easy. If you didn't go to church, that's okay. And if you went to church and the church was mean and cruel, that's okay too. Because the law, look for the law. That's all I'm going to tell you. Do not be distracted by other things. Look for the law. Anywho, Jacob wanted to marry Rachel. Rachel was beautiful. He wanted some of that. Anyway, Laban, her father, said, well, you got to work for this girl for 7 years. Jacob worked for Laban for 7 years. And then Laban said, well, you know, it is customary that we marry off the eldest daughter first. And so Jacob got stuck with Leah. The Bible described her as being dim of eyes. In other words, she ugly. I digress. So Jacob had to work for another 7 years. Now here's where it gets good. Laban said to Jacob, I will take all of the cattle and flock that are unblemished. Because he was geared towards the outward appearance. You understand? Not quality. He was looking for the quantity, like what looks good and appealing. So Jacob said, okay. Now Jacob his job was to tend the flock. So he got these sticks and he would cut spots into the sticks and stick the sticks in the dirt in front of the feeding and mating flock so that they would go to the same place every time. And every time they go and they're eating, they're looking at spots. Every time they're mating, they're looking at spots. What do you think happened? All of the livestock pretty much came out blemished. They had spots. They had spots. Because Jacob said, oh, okay. And here's also what Jacob did. He did not put any of the sickly livestock in front of those sticks that he put in the ground. He only put the robust, right? The strong flock is who he put in front of those sticks. So when all of these livestock started to breed and he got his livestock, they were strong and blemished. And what did Laban do? Because Laban was only looking for the outside appearance. He only saw blemished, but he didn't see strong. So what do you do to get abundance? Look at it. Make your thoughts be strong. Because if the quality of your thought is correct, then the quality of your livestock, will match the thought. If you got sickly and weak thoughts, you're going to have sickly and weak livestock. You comprehend what I'm saying to you? Let me read while y'all sink in with this. Oh, look at you, Miss Conversation. You are waxing poetic, are you? Yes, build all those things. You see the quality of that thought? Now here, Cynthia, let's go back to what happens if the vision does not present itself. Do you think when Jacob put those sticks in the ground with the blemishes in them that he got livestock right away? But if he had said, well, these sheep not breeding, then he would have walked away with nothing. But when he left his father-in-law with his 2 wives, he had more livestock than his father-in-law. Left his father-in-law saying, wait, what just happened here? You got to be wise. That's where the scripture means be wise as serpents. Because they're cunning, aren't they? But it is the thought, the quality of your thought determines the quality of the expressed thought. So if you are thinking and complaining, listen, if you're looking at it, if you're complaining, you're looking at it. You understand? But if you're happy and you're looking at it, you're still looking at it. This is the key, the attention. You are still looking at it. And yes, I say to you, I understand, I comprehend. What if you're living in the car? But if you stay there and you go, oh God, this is so bad, instead of focusing the attention on what it is that you can create. You see, when you grasp the knowledge that the thought you have in your mind that you are projecting, you are bringing it to you. And all you got to do is make sure that the quality of your thought is a good one. Well, you'll stay the course because you know why? You're eager to see what you created. No, this is what helps us. This is why, look at nature. People say, look at God, won't he do it? Look at nature. When something has you enthralled, captivated, you can't look away. So the thing that you desire, if you would but build it in your mind and you don't look away from it, when it gets to you, be like, oh, snap, you here already? Why? Because it had your full attention, not your partial attention, but your full attention. Yes? Oh, my foot is asleep. I gotta stretch it out.
I guess I got bored.
What? What are you saying?
No, nothing.
You best go someplace, child.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let me read what you're saying here, Miss Cynthia. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and thinking this won't happen. Yes. Yes. Right? Now here's how it works in motion. You catch the thought. Oh, this won't happen. Catch it. You catch yourself and you say, but that's not true. Of course it happens. So long as I keep my attention on it, it happens. And when you talk yourself through that, now you've changed the vibration of the thought. And because you've changed the vibration of the thought, you're going to feel better. So you're moving from doubt to belief. You understand it? Because that's what you're literally doing. Yes, catch yourself every time. Like I said, you're a dancer. You're a dancer.
What kind of dancer?
I'm your private dancer. That's the kind of dancer. So you got those moves. I got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves. So now, when you make a misstep, you'll remember those two songs. Ooh, I got the moves like Jagger. Get the move right. Get the thought. You understand? Exactly. Think abundance. And when you start to think abundance, Sonia, you will see abundance. And now that you have seen the abundance and you know that there is, you will begin to accept the abundance. And when you accept the abundance, I'm rich. You see the circle of it? But if you take your attention away from abundance at any time to complain, let me put it to you in layman's terms. You see, we are very good at complaining. We complain and we don't stop. Look, we gonna call our girlfriends. Girl, you don't know. Let me tell you. We are real good at complaining.
Yeah.
Right? We complain. Where's your attention? On the complaining. But I'm sitting here today on the floor with my knees bent, and I am telling you, if you can complain, then you can look for the goodness, can't you? Because the only difference between those two things is a variance of degree. The vibration between the two. The complaining, all you got to do is change the vibration. Complaining is really slow moving and heavy. But if you look for the thing that feels good, you've now lifted yourself up. And because you've lifted yourself up, now the vibration changes. You now feel lighter, a pep in your step. But yet, we sit and we think, oh, but that's so hard to do. As if I'm asking you to go out and dig ditches. All I'm telling you to do is get your mind in alignment. Well, I always used to say get your mind right. But the mind isn't wrong because there's only one mind. There's one consciousness. And that is the mind of Christ. That mind is perfection. So your thoughts, now you see your body. If we comprehend how the body works by memories. So because the body works by memories, you understand, it will continually remind you until you consciously remind it. You tell it, hey, this is the dance step. Let me read. Well, yes, Empress Ella. We all live in abundance because everything around us is abundant. I gave the analogy for those of you who garden. You plant a butternut squash. Plant 4 seeds. You're going to get 4 stalks. They're going to come in, and each vine will have maybe 20 or 30, depending on how you prune it. But when you cut it open, you got about 300 or 400 seeds. All you need is one plant, and you'll get those 20 butternut squash. But then all of a sudden, you got 20 times how many seeds are on the inside of those 20. Is that not abundance? Exactly. Abundance is there. So if you say, where's the abundance? You know how we say, can it get any worse?
You're expecting it to get worse.
Well, then it has to. Because you've asked the question, haven't you? So do you want that question answered? Can it get any worse? It's the same thing. Why couldn't we ask, well, can this get any better? Show me. You know how Jerry Maguire, when Kid was got him on the phone, he goes, show me the money. That's what you say. Because if you're looking for it, you'll find it. With all things. Let me read some comments. Miss T Versation. How more apt is that? Neville Goddard did say, we give power to things outside of ourselves. And you just said it right there. Giving that thing power by speaking over it. Whether it's good or bad, you've given it power. You do not give your power away. You exercise your power. Can I get an amen?
Amen. What last? It's like saying, can it get any worse? You asked. Your question was answered.
You know, this is why I love you. Hush. Anyway, Synovia, you said when you're listening to me, your brain goes through reconstruction. Oh, Lord. Listen, this is the beauty of our brains. It is designed to think. It is designed to think. Now, when I told you that there's only one mind and one consciousness, and all things are good, all things created are good. But it is when we forget the laws and we go contrary to law, this is what happens when this is what we call evil. Evil is simply contrary to law. You understand? But this is the thing. I am talking to you today the way I speak to myself. When I'm struggling with something that is just vile, you know, because I'm like, oh my God, my mind. I go back and I start to recite the laws. And I do. I recite them. Because they do something to you, then you recite them. And they help me to raise my vibration. Now I can see clear. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. What's the rain? Right? This is the point that I'm telling you. You see? We give our power away. The children of Israel did it when they said, I want a king. They gave their power away. Because why? We've been conditioned to think. We've been conditioned to think that we are somehow incapable of self-governance. You mean I got to tell you not to slap somebody? Really? I got to tell you that? Even as much as you want to be tempted, if we would but comprehend how the body works, you would understand why you don't need to slap them. Because when you look at them and the way they behave, you'll see exactly why they behave the way they do. And you'll go, I comprehend. And this is why now extending grace is easier. Because we comprehend. To comprehend means you understand, but on a much deeper or higher level, I suppose. But that's the meaning of comprehend, because I know how some people feel about the word understand. They're not standing under anything, they say. So comprehension, then. Comprende? That's the word. You see. Do not give Oh boy. The thing is this, right? Comprehend what is happening around you. There is a reason why something is vying for your attention, because it is your attention. Your attention is where the power is. Because it's the law of gender. The law of gender tells you the masculine projects, the feminine accepts and gives birth, right? If someone comes along and projects into you and you passively accept it, right? We're talking Roe versus Wade. We're talking systemic racism. We're talking all these things. Those are projections. Yes, they may have happened. Look at me. I'm from Barbados. I know a thing or two about the Queen. Okay, this is why my English is as phenomenal as it is. Learned at the end of a whip. I digress, right? So, what happens is when they come along and they say, when they project into your mind a thought, I told you you're predictable. You're going to respond a particular way. Because why do we respond a particular way? Because we've conditioned our bodies to respond that way. And if we do not consciously stop that reaction, we will continue to do it. Thereby, you are now easily controlled. So how do you fix it? First of all, you need to recognize that you're not broken. That's step one. You're not broken. You're not broken. Number two, you're not your body. Have you been to a funeral? Actually, my great aunt just passed away today. So her body, you understand? That's just her body. But you're not your body. You're what's in it. That's why the body is dead, because what's in it, the essence, is gone. So recognize your power and stop giving it away. I'm not telling you that these things going on in the outside are not relevant. They are relevant because they have an end goal in mind. Do I know what the end goal is? No. But I'm here to tell you today, as long as you recognize that there is the agenda to control and siphon your energy, there's nothing more potent than a focused thought. Try to stop the man who is determined from success. You can't, because there's nothing more powerful than a focused thought. This is what I keep saying to you day in and day out, and to myself. Don't sit here and think that, oh Lord, she preaching like she know everything. No, I'm telling you what I tell myself. You know exactly how powerful a focused thought is because you experience it and you live it every day. But when it comes time to say, I see that behavior and I don't like it, but alas, I don't have the strength to fight it. Nobody's asking you to fight it. There's a level of comprehension required when you know how the body works. Now you can transcend that foul behavior that you don't like. Because you will notice, oh yes, the body works by habit. Okay, and what is a habit? Something I do over and over again. Okay, so to form a new habit, because I don't want to break the other one. Why? If you're looking at the broken thing, you create broken things. But if you look at the new habit that you would like to create the new habit. Focused thought is power, pure, raw power. Do you grasp this? Grasp it and start using it so that when you stand in the mirror in the morning and you say it with your chest, you're like, oh, I got the power. You know what that actually means. It means if I think this thing and I focus it and I keep focused on it and I don't, like a horse with blinders, they don't look to the left and they don't look to the right. They're straight ahead. That's what we need to become with these thoughts. because we are already doing it. Oh Lord, my hip. Oh Lord, my hip. How you think the hip gonna be?
Broken.
You see, we are already doing focused thought. That's why we are so powerful. So the encouragement finally today is this. If you can create destruction with your thoughts, you know, sickness, brokenness, unhappiness, those are all things we are real good at those. But now I'm telling you, flip it, because that is the law, cause and effect. Every cause has an effect and every effect has a cause. But you know the cause, you can predict the effect. If you know the effect, you can create the cause. So nothing ever goes one way. The pendulum swings back and forth. You can always change your situation by changing how you focus your thought, the quality of your thought. Lord, I'm hollering, I'm hollering. Whew. Whew. Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You know what? How about you? You need to leave.
I'm not wrong.
This channel's in here telling me, Mama, sounds like a black church to me. Stop it. Let me take a sip of water. If you have questions, now is the time, because I don't want to keep you longer than I need to. I've been thinking about you. Oh, snap. Oh, Sonia, I did mean to ask you that the other day, you know. The minute you said you're from Barbados, right? I knew because I saw some of your profile pictures and I said, she's a Bajan, you know. But I just left it and I didn't do anything. But now that you say it, this is where now I slip into the Bajan. Huh?
What?
So if you don't understand that, it is okay. Bajans understand. It is still English. It is still English. Not the Queen's English, but it is still English nonetheless. But let me see some of these comments. Oh, Mischievous-ation. Yes. You crack me up. Ultramagnet. Oh, it is good to see you, my darling Ultra. Oh, it is very good to see you. Let me see. Empress Ella, you know it is always good to see you, my friend. It really, truly is. So I tell people that I do offer coaching. I do offer mentorship because, you know, I just do. And I get up every day and I teach this. Somebody said to me yesterday, "You're the queen of the law, you know." She goes, "Nobody teaches it like you." And I'm like, queen of the law? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right? So it is just one of those things. When I tell you that whatever it is that you are doing has to enrapture you. You know, when you're gazing into the eyes of that person, you understand. Oh, oh dear. Stop it. Like, you see what I'm saying? It has to. This is where that word rapture comes from, you know. You know, Christians believe in it. They're going to get caught up in the rapture. It means to be so caught up, enthralled, ensnared in whatever it is you are thinking and doing. That's what it means. You're caught up. You see it? I'm so caught up. I got me feeling it. Caught up. Da, da, da. Usher. Eh? So next time you go through your day and you've got a thought that feels good, you feel like stepping a certain way, you can remind yourself, "Oh, I'm caught up in this." And that means it has your full attention. And the longer you hold your attention on it, the faster it materializes. Don't ask me how fast, because I do not know how fast.
Depends on the person.
It is the law. The law, this is where rhythm comes in, right? Rhythm. There's an ebb and there's a flow. The beautiful part of rhythm is you'll begin to feel when the manifestation is upon you. Because you'll go from ebb to flow. from not having to having. And there's a break in between those two things. Then the scale tips. That's how you know, because you're going to feel it. So I can't tell you how that's going to be a week, that's going to be 2 weeks. I can't tell you these things. All I can tell you is pay attention and you'll feel it for yourself. Right? Cynthia. I love you. Cynthia says one of the things that I'm really learning is I have to do the work. Cynthia, let me ask you this question. Is creation beautiful?
Yes.
Noah, give your mother a minute. Don't distract your mother now. Is creation beautiful? If you answer yes to that question, what do beautiful things make you feel like? Like I said, everything, listen, creation is like intimacy. SEX, intimacy, right?
What?
So he's 13. I can't fool this one, but you hush, let your mother focus now. So creation is pleasurable. Is pleasure work or is it play? You see, this is why we learn from children. Children learn through play. Because if it was through work, it'd be boring, wouldn't it? Nobody would want to work, but everybody wants to play. You see? So perhaps change the perspective by comprehending that creation. Let me get a little close to you. Creation is beautiful. Creation is sensual. Oh, creation is... Yes, that is what creation is. So then, is it work? No, my beautiful Cynthia, it is not work, but it is an opportunity for you and an opportunity for me to have a good time. Celebrate good times, come to celebration. That is what doing the work is, Cynthia. Does that make sense? So don't look at it like, oh my God, I gotta put in the work. This is not like going to the office 9 to 5, because anybody want to do that. But what if you say to yourself, what am I creating today? Oh, well, let me put a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, a sprinkle of this. Oh, is that work? No, because if we looked upon our creations, this is why if you can understand how beautiful it is for you as a human being to create, then you can understand why God is captivated by creation. Because it feels good, right? It feels good. And this is why God creates. This is why God must create. Because it feels good. So if that is, how can I make that assumption? The law, as above, so below. You see it? We have pleasure with creation. Well, then so does God. But you see, when we say God, we think, church, stop it. That's only the name we gave it because we can't give it a name. Right? We can't give it a name because we don't know it. It's a name that cannot be named. You understand? Anyway.
I don't think God. I think
Just stop. Right. So you understand. This is what it is. I'm done. If there aren't any more questions, listen. Go forth and enjoy your creations. You are the one making them. Do not allow somebody to come along and say, ooh, I'm a create, and you're just going to give it to me. No! That's what happens when somebody tries to get your attention with distractions. And if you are busy creating your own experience and having the most incredible time doing it, then nobody can come along and distract you and make you do something against your will. Oh, Oh, because people always ask me, well, how do I protect myself? You protect yourself by filling your mind with your own creations. So then you never have to worry. Think about this. You don't fight against. When you fight against, it increases. Put the attention upon what it is you want to create. You don't get peace by fighting in a war. I digress. I'm all done now because y'all got me fired up. Yeah. This is what we do. You've got this because you are already doing it. It's just that you were unaware. But now you know what you're doing, don't you? Yes. You know exactly what you're doing now. Do it with some confidence. Do it with some faith. You see? Creation is beautiful. If you remind yourself that creation is beautiful, the next time you have a desire, you say, ooh, what do I want? You'll begin to create the most beautiful thing for yourself. And you'll also notice that you cannot create something beautiful for you and something ugly for somebody else. But and I digress. You see what I'm saying? I could listen. You know, and I know that I could do this all day. I feel like Captain America. I could do this all day.
Weirdo.
This is right. This is just my personality. It just is.
Dramatic.
Your mother is not dramatic, Noah. Don't say that.
Says the person who is very overdramatic just now.
You see, look, these children, right? These children are something else.
Yeah.
Telling me I'm dramatic. But anywho, take pleasure in what you create. That is your gift. That is your power. And stop giving your power away because something scares you on the outside. The reason why it scares you on the outside is because you don't create fear on the inside. We don't create fear, people. We create from a place of love. So if it scares you, that means it's coming from the outside. And if it's coming from the outside, you didn't put it there. And so if you didn't put it there, you didn't create it. And if you didn't create it, you don't harvest it. And then it cannot influence you. Angela, yes. Like I said, I could do this all day. But I won't. I shall not do this all day.
Not that she doesn't want to, but just because you guys have your own thing.
That's exactly it. Not because I don't want to, but because you guys have things to do as well. I just want you to remember when you're going out into the world, remember, don't just be a hearer of the word, be a doer. Because it feels good to do and it feels good to be done, does it not? That's my cue to sip some water.
Yes, I don't drink enough water. Nearly
But
enough.
that's what it is. So I just recall it. I do have a class up on Udemy, and it teaches, I'm going to put it in the link in the description of the live feed. It teaches the laws. And then if you want to do it that way, you can. Because some people prefer, self-direction. But if you don't want to do it that way and you want to do it live, well, then we can do it live. And then there's mentorship, there's coaching, because this is my life. The laws are my life because I know what that freedom feels like, right? Procrastination, oh, Synovia. That's just because you're doing something you don't want to do. But if you were creating from a place of, oh my, isn't this fantastic? As Neville Goddard says, isn't it wonderful? If you are going to create from that place, then you won't have to procrastinate. But we associate procrastination with doing something. The action required will present itself out of your focused thought. So if you have that focused thought, pardon me, you know what to do. So then you won't have to procrastinate. We only procrastinate when we don't follow law. That's all. Does that make sense, Miss Synovia, darling?
Yes.
Is your name Synovia? Your name is Noah. You stop it.
I'm just.
You. I was gonna say you need Jesus.
It
Let
doesn't
me.
mean he need a therapist.
Oh Lord, now let me say my hellos and my goodbyes, Miss Conversation, Synovia, darling, Shea Butter, baby, Ray of Sunshine. Uh, let's see, Miss Cynthia, Empress Ella, Reese. Let's see who else is here. I'm scrolling. Sonia. Wow. And let's see who else. Let's see who else. Yay. I know I saw Magneto in here, Ultra. I saw his name in here too.
What?
There he is.
Magneto?
Yes. And so everybody, thank you for being here.
Magnifique.
I truly appreciated your time. And it is beautiful. Just remember, like I'm reminding myself right now, creation.
Kill this child.
Creation is what? I created you. I can't destroy my creations. Anywho, that's all it is. I love you greatly, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And enjoy your wonderful evening as well, Miss Empress Ella. Yes. Parting is such sweet Charles. Well, look, now there's 10 people in the space. I wonder who they are. I know who you are because I've been calling your names, but the others, I don't. Oh, 11. Yikes. See what I mean?
Only 2 more.
It's like the party is just getting started. You're like, yikes. But if there aren't any more questions, comments, or concerns, let us go for and rest easy tonight. And as you put your head on that pillow, Amina. Hi. It's so good to see you, Amina. It really, really is. Everybody, Amina, everybody. No, you didn't. Amina is a lovely, lovely woman. I know her from fan base. As you fall asleep tonight, if we would remember that creation is beautiful and to take pleasure in our creations and become so wrapped up in our creations, we block out all else. The outside will change because everything bends to the will of the law, you understand. Mm-hmm. Yes. You see it? That's all. Yeah. Amina, darling, we're just finished. Even though it does not look like we're finished. But because it's been an hour and a half, and I tell people I don't want to keep them so long. But Miss Conversation, you're right. To you function in your space. And that's where sovereignty comes in, Miss Conversation and Synovia. When you're sovereign, you move according to your own will. Your own projection is what you move according to. That's exactly what that means. It's not that you're always missing me, Miss Amina. The replay will be here. Make sure and follow me on YouTube. And like I said, sometimes I try to get on and it doesn't work. And tonight it did. And so that's how come I'm on. I was supposed to be on earlier, but my cousins stopped by, all 5 of them, all under the age of 10. Oh my God, they're so cute. Anyway, so that's what delayed me. And so, yeah, that's why I'm on so late right now. But other than that, my beautiful, beautiful friends, it is just, you know, it's kind of like, feels like Twitter to me because nobody likes to leave on Twitter either. And look, I'm not kicking you out. If you got questions, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to answer them. If you don't have to stay. Have me up all night. Listen, when you draw your strength from the law, It invigorates you. It does. You see? That's what I'm saying. And so that's the beautiful part of, if we just grasp that, the beauty of what we are. The beauty of what we are, my friends. Yeah. Yes, Miss Sonia. You don't have to be. You already are.
Creepy.
You don't have to be free, my dear sweet darling, because you already are free. Accept it.
I accept the challenge.
This is what I'm saying to you, right? It is that knowledge of the law that sets one free. Then you know that no one can enslave you. Then you know that. You begin to, this is why I use the word sovereignty. We must come to the awareness of our freedom. In other words, yes, come to the awareness of your freedom. Come to the awareness. But you see, the more time you spend in the law, you'll begin to understand your freedom and walk in it. It is just a matter of acceptance. Because we've been programmed to believe that we're not meant to be free. Right? Mrs. Sonia, good night, my darling. Good night. You rest well. Yeah, if you gotta go, you gotta go. It's okay. But for the rest who are just getting here, listen, here's something y'all don't really understand about me. Whether or not you are in this space, I still speak. Because I hear me, right? And I inspire me. So whether you're here, so if you, like I said, if you gotta go, you gotta go. It's okay. Like I told you, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. But if you want to stay and you have questions, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so.
Feel free to ask your questions.
Feel free to ask your questions.
Ask away, my friend.
See this. If you would put this much effort into mowing the lawn, Bill, we'd get something done around here. But
I'd much rather be a nail in the foot.
You are something else, child. You are something else.
Oh,
But yes, my beautiful friends, this is what it is. The understanding that we're free. Accept it. Whether or not you accept it is irrelevant, because it does not, your acceptance or refusal or denial does not negate your freedom. You're going to be free whether or not you believe it or not. So life just goes better if you accept your freedom. Accept it, my friends.
Accept it.
Accept it. You see? There you go. There's 13 people. Yeah. But this is the beauty, right? This is the beauty. Do you remember what those laws are? Let's go through them real quick. The all is mind. The universe is mental. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. That is the law of correspondence. Then we have the law of vibration, because nothing stands still. Everything moves. And it moves between two things in polarity. They appear to be opposites, but they are not. They are the same. And we move from one to the other by way of vibration. Hang on a second, baby. And then we have the law of polarity. Two things in poised opposition. But they're the same. Love and hate are exactly the same. It's just a matter of degree of vibration. And then we have the law of rhythm. There's an ebb and there's a flow. There's an in and out. There is a retreat. There is an advance. thereby making things predictable. And then we have the law of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. And last but not least, the law of gender, not to be confused with man, woman, boy, girl, but to be masculine. Masculine projects, whether it be a thought, word, action. Masculine projects, feminine accepts and gives form to it so that you can see it. Those are the principles. If we commit them to memory, every time we go through the day, we'll know exactly where we are and exactly which one to apply. Because at the end of the day, there really and truly is only one law, and that is the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation, and the other six simply tell you how it works. That all creation is governed by them. There are no exceptions to the rule. Yes, my darling. No.
Oh, fun.
But I appreciate you asking. But no. That's what those laws are. And they don't punish, nor do they reward. This is what makes it fair for all people. This is true justice. Right? It is true justice. Giving people the ability to govern themselves. Right? So that if you know, this is why when the scripture tells you, when you pray for something, when you pray, if you have unforgiveness in your heart, release that person so that the unforgiveness will go away. Why? Unforgiveness, as within, so without. If you have unforgiveness within you, it taints everything you want to create. Not because the other person is undeserving of forgiveness, but because you deserve your happiness. And so if you're holding on to the unforgiveness because they've hurt you, but Angela, you don't know what they've done. No, I don't know what they've done, but I do know so long as you hold on to the unforgiveness, you will continue to reap it. That's what it is. You see how the law keeps everybody honest? But you know, Angela, how come they look like they have a good life? They've gone through their life and they've hurt everybody. They hurt people. That's all they do. And to that I say, mind your business. Do you know why? Because the law is also minding them. Nothing escapes the law. So it may appear that they're thriving right now, but nothing escapes the law.
Not for very long, at least.
See, now, here's where you can learn to use one law against the other to circumvent one. The example of circumvention is jet fuel, right? An airplane circumvents gravity by using jet fuel, but when the fuel runs out, it has to land. It circumvents gravity for a time. To transcend means you just blow it out of the water altogether. We can't transcend the law, but we can circumvent it for a time using higher against lower. Meaning, if you are going to do something, if you're going to create, and you say, oh, but I gotta make this thing happen, and you're gonna create it, right? You can only circumvent the effect of it for a time. This is why people can look like they're doing bad and getting ahead, because they can only circumvent it for so long. But the law is inescapable. So don't worry about the person who hurt you. I'm going to say it again. Don't worry about the person who hurt you. I've been through hurts too. I know. I understand. Think about the law and what it does. Allow the law to heal you. Right? Meaning, if you say, look, yeah, I know this person hurt me. Recognize, because remember the body, right? The body remembers. So if they've come from a place of hurt, their body remembers hurt, and thus, because of the law as within, so without, they continue to perpetuate hurt until they say consciously, I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead. And they stop perpetuating the hurt. So now that you can comprehend that in someone else, when you look upon them, now you won't judge. You won't say, I see you. You ain't no good, you a dog. You won't say that because you will understand or comprehend why they behave the way they do. And so when you say, peace be unto you, you can be honest. Because if you say peace be unto you, you are giving peace to yourself. Why? Because as within, so without. So you see, this is the beauty of the law. You don't necessarily have to seek retribution. Because what causes us to seek retribution? Anger, hurt, fear, pain. And if you're holding on to those things, as within, so without, you got to recreate them so that you can experience them all over again. Why? Because wherever if your attention is upon the pain, the hurt, the bitterness, and the anger and the rage, that's what you're going to have to experience. And do you want to experience that just because you need to be justified?
No.
This is what I'm telling you. Practice the law every single day, and forgiveness becomes easy. Unconditional love becomes easy because the law is love in action. But when we say love, we think, oh my sweet darling. That's what we think love is. But it is the unconditional love that the law has. That is love. And when you use it the way you were intended to use it, you can only ever spread more love. So you see, don't look at things so black and white. Don't look at things, Asian, white folk, Indian folk. Stop it. We're only different because we're from different parts of the world. Don't look at who got reparations and who didn't. Listen, everybody got reparations except for us. But what are you going to do? Are you going to hold on to that? You going to hold on to that bitterness? So that now every time whoever you encounter gets a taste of that bitter fruit, no, stop it. Right? So use the laws wisely. Essential Wave, hi. God, I just saw the name. That is so bad. It's been an hour and I've seen your name, but I just haven't said it. That's so bad. Forgive me, my darling. But I see you. I've seen you this whole time. I just didn't say it, but I've seen you. And I do love you. Thank you for being here. But yes, that's all I'll leave you with. You know that song, check yourself before you check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's the law right in action there. Do you want to recreate that? Probably not. So then what are you going to do? Remember the dancer with the choreography. They do a misstep. They don't cry in the corner. They get up and they go to the choreographer and she says, okay, I'm ready. Show me again. So they break it. The choreographer breaks it down. They do it and they do it and they do it till she gets it. And she dances again. Oh, snap. I mucked it up again. Choreographer comes back. The choreographer is not bent out of shape at all. This is the law. The choreographer is the law. Keep practicing until you can do that dance move like second nature. I'm done. Truly, I'm done now. Because I don't want to keep you all night long. Nice. So, what am I going to have? I don't know. Maybe I'll have some ice cream. I don't know.
Wait, we have ice cream since when?
We have popsicles, boy.
That's not the same thing.
It isn't. Isn't it frozen ice cream on a stick? Popsicle? Anywho, I digress.
Things that you can have on a stick.
You know, these children are something else. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you today. Yeah. You can, if you have not subscribed to this channel and you find it to be of value, subscribe. And if you want to support my channel, there are some options there that you can do. That's it. And I'm always here. If you want to be a part of the WhatsApp group, that's mentorship. And I don't give them any quarter. I tell them like it is. Use the law. You understand? So anyway, that's what it is. I'm gonna read through these comments. But everybody, Essential Wave, thank you for being here. I'm trying to think where that thing is where you can send me your email. Give me a minute. Give me just a minute for contact us. I'll post that in there. Yes, Noah.
Did you know if you replace the W in what with a V, it's what?
See, this is what's wrong with you.
What?
Look, I'll put this in here so people can, if you want to be a part of that mentorship, I just ask people to donate where they, if you want to donate $2, you can. If you want to donate $1,
you can.
get out. I don't even have any holy water for you. Anywho, that's all. Yeah, you can contact me there, and I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. Let me see, because that's where they ask questions, and I answer questions. Anything else? Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Miss T Conversation? Yeah.
My one concern is why isn't this kid at the camera?
That's because you are a child, and children don't necessarily belong on the camera.
No, but neither do you.
What's that?
What? You look like a child too.
I don't, but that's okay. But everybody was here tonight, and I appreciate every single one of you for sharing your time, effort, and energy with me tonight. And remember, creation is beautiful, and it is not work. It is a pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to work yourself for the pleasure. I mean, not like that, but.
Miss T Conversation, yes, this is why I tell you I have committed them to memory, and I use them every day. Because then that way you never have to be, what is that? Let me do it. The party you're trying to reach is currently disconnected, or currently unavailable. You never have to be disconnected from the law. The law permeates every facet and fiber of your being. You see? That's all.
The party you're trying to connect with is unavailable.
So that's
your message after the beep.
That's all there is, But yeah, that's all it is. It's just the law. See, look, people were leaving out, people are coming back. I'm like, it's all good. I don't look. I love.
You know who
I
else
love.
Came back?
Hmm?
My dad after we went
You and your jokes. What's wrong with you?
to
So, if there aren't any more questions, comments, or concerns, you are free to go, my beautiful friends. And if you have something that you wanted to privately discuss, because I know sometimes, anonymity is great, use the link there from my website to contact me directly. Yeah. And we can have a conversation, And yes, that's all. You see? That's all there is. Okay? I don't know. I can't even say. Un momento, por favor.
Emma, what did the There we go.
So, if that's everything, I feel like William Shakespeare. Parting is such sweet sorrow. It really is. It is really sweet sorrow. Because I hate leaving you. I do. I hate leaving you.
The only reason that you hate leaving is
Oh, what you can also do, if you wanted to invite some friends who you think would benefit from learning the law, you wanted to have a private meeting.
Oh, okay.
I'm here for that too,
She's here for parties.
I'm here for that too, I'm usually the life of the party.
Yes. Or the downfall of it. I'm kidding.
Who? Which one of the two was dramatic? Yeah.
Nah, you're dramatic. I'm just crazy.
Get that from your father, not me. Anyway.
Love you.
Anyway, but yes, I thank each and every one of you again for being here. And so I'm going to end the live stream unless somebody interjects to say something else. Okay? Much love, my beautiful friends. Much love.